Hello everyone and welcome to week 6 of The Artist Way. If you don't know what it is, I'm talking about this beautiful book right here, which is quite thick actually. It's a course to help you recover your creative essence. If you have artist block or if you feel like you could be a little bit more creative, I think this is the book for you because it has different tasks every week that if you perform them, I promise it's going to change your life, because this book is single-handedly changing mine right now, and I'm on week 6. So I'm halfway there. Let me tell you what this week was about, because I think that I'm finally starting to get what this is about. And I cannot even explain it. This week's topic was recovering a sense of abundance, and it's all about your relationship with finances. And this hits home very much because I was not born in wealth. I'm not wealthy even now. I was born in a context of scarcity. I was born in Chile, and we always had problems with money. I remember when I was young, I didn't notice, of course, because when you're young, you usually don't notice things. To just accept life as it is. Just accept life, and everything that happens around you is just normal. I remember we used to live in like a small room, and everything was in this room. Like everything happened there. We had like our beds there, and we had the kitchen and everything, and the walls were not isolated. I was living in Santiago back then, and it used to get cold during the winters. It didn't snow where I lived, at least, but it used to get very cold, and I remember being cold and just trying to cover myself with a lot of things. I remember sleeping with my uniform, my school uniform on to keep warm, and I just thought that this was fun and it was normal because I didn't get to wear pajamas, and I thought I'm being a little bit of a rebel here, and my parents are letting me. But I didn't understand that we came from scarcity, and this also affected the mentality that I have when I approach wealth in general and luxury and a bunch of stuff. I felt like I didn't belong to this group of the rich people. I felt like they were different from us. I think this has to do a lot with the fact that in Chile actually there's a lot of social inequality, and it's much easier to get higher up if you know the right people. So it's kind of like if you know certain people, you get better jobs and stuff. But if you are a hard worker, you can get there also, at least now. In the past, this was not like that. But it requires much more effort. And I always felt like that. I felt like I fought a lot. I studied a lot. I learned English, for instance. Even though people that, for example, were from a higher economical status, they used to learn at school. I learned it quite old. I learned after 18. So I felt like I just didn't belong. I didn't know the cues. Like when I was in a group of people that were from a different socio-economical status, like they just knew I didn't belong because I didn't speak like them. And I felt very isolated in my own country. I felt like, I don't know, discriminated, that it was going to be hard for me to get what I wanted, that I needed to work harder, that I needed to give everything. And even though if I did that, and if I did I did my best, it was not a given that I was going to get somewhere. And when I moved to Germany, I noticed that here is not like that. I mean, if you are good at what you do, you are gonna get somewhere. And I feel like, okay, there might be inequality here as well, but I feel it's quite different from what I was used to. So I've been having to shed a lot of limiting beliefs. And also the things that people tell you about money, like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees or whatever. All these things also make you think like money is hard, or maybe that rich people must have done something horrible, because how? And this is something that is deeply ingrained into my brain as someone that was born in scarcity. And I think that this is ingrained into many artists' brains. that you somehow, if you just had a little bit of money, you could fix everything. And I don't think this is the case. At some point, the book makes us list what we think about wealth and what we think about money. And this really deeply touched me. And this is an exercise I've done before, not with this book, but with other books. And also I remember I attended a workshop at some point about knowing how to value yourself. And I was like, again, confronted with what is my idea about money. And my idea is that certain things give you status. Like if you have a certain car, this is a sign of status. That means you belong to the club. And there's this sort of club in my mind of these people, and they recognize each other because of the things that they have and the way that they speak and the sort of like a secret code that they have. And I realized this while listing all of the things that I thought about wealth. I just realized that I think it's something is unattainable for me because I just don't happen to be part of the club. And yeah, even if I do get the, I don't know, very expensive things, you know, the car, the iPhone or whatever, I might still feel like I don't belong. And this made me really feel like my problem with scarcity was an identity problem. That for me, wealth comes with a sort of identity card that you need to live it and show it. And I know that this is not true. I know that this is not true. I've met wealthy people, and you never know who's really wealthy. I mean, there is very, very, I don't know how to explain, in a very subtle way that maybe you realize if you're really looking who's rich and who's not rich. But it doesn't matter because this doesn't change a person. I mean, it could, but it shouldn't. And it really made me realize that I need to heal my relationship with money. And this is something that I've been working for a while. And I think that this week leaves homework because I'm not done after this week. This is just the tip of the iceberg with this week. Like, what does it mean to me to be wealthy? And what does it mean to me to deserve it? And what does it mean to me to belong to this club? And how can I stop feeling resentful about this very same club? And to embrace that I am worthy of belonging wherever. And it's nothing about money. So yeah, this week was very deep, was very profound. I found many truths, and of course I actually changed. I had to buy another notebook for my morning pages, and it's crazy how much I've learned about myself. I did the morning pages every day. I've done it like all this time, and I don't do the weeks one after the other because sometimes I feel like I didn't do all the exercise and I like to focus on a week a little bit more. And I think it's been more than 60 weeks. Sorry, more than 60 days with the morning pages, and I feel like I'm not alone. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like I put all of my thoughts into the page, and that this deep loneliness we feel sometimes, that we are not understood, maybe that our ideas are too wacky, at least is sometimes what I feel. I don't feel it anymore when I write on my morning pages. I feel like I'm being contained, that I'm being supported, and that's actually just me and my higher self. So this is magical. And I think that, yeah, it's fantastic. This week also speaks about allowing yourself to have a little bit of luxury and what luxury means. And I started to think about it. And for me, luxury is knowledge, is having books, is all these things. So I realized that I've been buying myself a lot of books recently, and I was very happy with that. And yeah, because it basically means that I'm giving myself the permission to experience luxury. And I also decided to do something different this week as well. I decided to buy a discovery set of perfume. And I've always wanted to do this because I do feel there's some sort of aura shift when you switch your perfume. And I'm looking forward for this discovery set to arrive. And yeah, I'm very excited. So this week leaves homework. I think I'm gonna dive more into my limiting beliefs about money and as the weeks go by. And I think if you have a recommendation of a book that does this, please let me know, because I'm really looking forward to do this, and I feel like it's very important for us to tackle that and to understand that sometimes scarcity comes from mentality, that sometimes the blocks to get there, they're just mental. And I think that, of course, I have many external blocks on why I'm not wealthy, of course, but I think that there's one that I can control, and that's my mentality. And that's what I learned this week. So if you did like the video, and if you'd like to know more about this, please subscribe, click the notification bell, and let's see each other next week, okay? Bye-bye.